Hello and welcome to the Tarkus Zone. Thank you for joining me. Today we're going to be discussing the Ego Power T6 42-inch riding lawnmower that I've been featuring on my YouTube channel. So if you've been following me, I've done a few videos on this tractor on towing and its options and its app. You can check out those videos. I'll link those videos, the playlist below. But this video is about its mowing and how it performed while it was mowing yesterday. It was the first time I had mowed with it at all, was yesterday. I had gotten, or I had ordered the tractor on 3/2 of 2024. They did not deliver it till 3/14 of 2024. And again, I've done a few videos on it already, but I hadn't done a mowing video because the grass here in Vermont was not high enough to actually do any mowing. So yesterday I put it through its paces, and I would have to say that the tractor itself performed okay. I think the tractor, everything above the blades, worked as expected. I think I got a bad set of blades. It has to be the problem because the system did not want to cut the grass. It's got 3 speeds, blade speeds, and it did not want to cut the grass at the first speed, the slowest speed. It just folded the grass over. I drove over it. I looked back. The grass was still non-cut. There was really no grass being discharged out of the discharge at all. So I kicked it up to the second speed for the blade. I got more discharge coming out of the side, but still when I looked back, it didn't look like it was cutting the way it was supposed to be cutting. So I kicked it up to the highest speed possible for blade speed, and then I started to see a clean cut. Yeah, there were still areas that I still needed to drive over again to actually get all the grass cut. And I was like, geez, this is not cutting well. So what I did is I did the whole yard. I did the first cut. What I like to do is do a fast cut. So I had the tractor on the fastest or highest acceleration mode because it's got 3 modes for that, for speed wise and its acceleration. So I did the fastest. I kind of whipped around like a goat car. It was actually pretty fun. And I knew I was not going to get a general clean cut because usually you don't. You're just kind of doing a pass through. And I was doing that because there were areas that I had kind of a thick mesh of grass that needed to you just got to power through. And that's what I did. And it powered through that just fine. Then I kicked the acceleration down to the second acceleration level. And it's actually kind of slow, but then I did the whole cut. And that's when I got a clean. It looked well when I got done. But the problem with the tractor is, and it's like the weakest link in a chain, if the blades do not perform well, the whole tractor is a dumpster fire, right? I mean, because it's not performing. It's a lawnmower and it's not performing well. So I opened up the discharge chute and looked at the blades yesterday, and I did a video on it yesterday. I'll also share that in the link below. You can watch that. It's a 5-minute video of my first cut. I was disappointed. The blade is not sharp at all. The blade had some chips in it. I don't know where those chips would have come from. I only mowed grass with it. So if there was like pebbles or rocks that got kicked up while I was mowing, let me put it this way. I had my John Deere tractor for over 10 years. I only replaced the blades twice on it in 10 years. Every 5 years, basically, wherever that made sense, I replaced the blades, but I only replaced it twice. So I never had problems with that John Deere tractor mowing what I mowed yesterday. And the first time out of the gate with this tractor, the blades are obviously having issues. I think I got a bad set of blades. So what I did is I called Lowe's over at Plattsburgh in New York because that's where they shipped it out of. Even though I had ordered it through the Essex store, in Vermont, they shipped it out of Plattsburgh because Plattsburgh is right across the lake. The manager at the Plattsburgh store, what a gem that guy is. Lowe's should give that guy a raise, or Lowe's should know that they've got somebody good on their thing. He gave me options. I wasn't happy with all the options he gave me, but he gave me options. The first option was just return the tractor and I'll seat you back into a John Deere. That was his first option. His second option was, look, if you were local, Mr. Emmons, I would be right at your house today swapping those blades out for you. but I'm across the lake. So he's like, I can't really do that for you. I'm sorry. But Mr. Ramage, you can remove those blades, bring them to me tomorrow, which is today, Sunday, and I will hand you a new set of blades. Or if you're not happy with the Ego blades, we'll go match them with something from another company and see if we can get some other blade on there. And my thoughts were is maybe they want cheap on the blades because they need to weigh a certain amount because of being electric, and that's how they had to go with an insuperior, or I guess the word would be a lighter weight grade metal, and that's why the blades got the chips and whatnot. I don't know, but he gave me that option, and I was like, well, look, I got the 3-year plan that came with it. My thoughts were, if there's a problem with the tractor, you guys should be coming to my house and making this right. And he's like spot on. I would do that if you were in New York, but you're across the lake. I can't do that today. I said, what if I call the Essex store in Vermont over on Susie Wilson Road? That conversation went okay. I talked to the manager. He was a nice enough guy. He gave me the similar options. He kept on saying, just return it. He says, put it on a flatbed and bring it. Somebody in your orbit must own a trailer. Just bring it to me tomorrow and I'll give you your money back. And I said to him, I said, it's like throwing the baby out with the bathwater, because everything above the blades seems to be working well. It's the blades. And his option was, me, take the blades off, bring them to me tomorrow, and I'll swap them out for you. Other than that, he's like, I can't really give you any more options. I said, well, I told him I've got the 3-year extended plan. He goes, oh, let me give you their 1-800 number. He goes, if you have anything to do through that, you got to call the 1-800 number. Maybe they'll be willing to mail you a set of blades. And I'm like, yeah, that's a solution. I won't have to go anywhere. They'll come to my house. I don't mind doing the labor to replace it. I'll do a video here on my YouTube channel on how to do it. That works for me. And so I get to the 1-800 number. The first thing it comes up, it says, you've got a 30-minute wait, just to let you know. So I put the phone on speakerphone. 57 minutes later, 57 minutes, almost an hour, a nice lady answers and says, yeah, what can I do for you? So I give her the information, and she said, oh, there's absolutely nothing we can do for you. Nothing. She gave me 0 options. She didn't even seem like she cared. And I was like, what? And she's like, she said, unfortunately, because you've only owned the tractor less than 3 weeks, you've got to go through Ego to resolve this. I said, okay, so I've got multiple choices at your local store, but the 3-year Lowe's protection plan that I spent $342 on is going to give me 0 options. And she says, unfortunately, I only can tell you to call the 1-800 number for Ego. So she gave me that number. So I called Ego. Now that didn't go well either, because I got into the ticket line, and eventually they said, look, we're experiencing high volume. You won't lose your ticket priority or where you are in your ticket if you just give us your callback number. So it was an automated system that basically said, you give us your number, we'll call you back, you'll remain in the same ticket queue. Well, after I did that and hung up the phone, 1 hour goes by, 2 hours go by, 3 hours go by. And I'm like, I still haven't got a call back. I said, what kind of ticket queue is this? So I call them back, and the system says, oh, we see that you're in the system in queue. Would you like to remain in queue? We'll call you back when we can. I was like, okay, I guess I'll remain in queue. Never got a call back at all from them yesterday. So I went to the app, the Ego Connect app, and I put a claim in through that. Now that was easy enough. I basically just said, look, I think I got a bad set of blades. I don't think your tractor's the problem. I think it's your blades that are the problem. Could you just send me another set? And I linked my YouTube video that I had done yesterday on the bad performance of, that I had gotten out of those blades. So I'm in a holding pattern right now. So if I could get Ego Connect just to mail me a set of blades, I'd swap them out, try them, see if it was just, I got a bad set of blades. And if they still fold like a butter on a knife, then I would then either think about returning the tractor or taking up the option of bringing them down to Lowe's and kind of just matching them up with another vendor's blades and seeing if I can get another vendor's blades onto the thing. Because it is really clear to me that the blades that I have, or they sent with this tractor, have to be defective in some way. Why give the consumer 3 options of blade speeds when option 1 and 2 are totally worthless. Totally worthless. You might not even include those options because the only way the thing actually cut my grass was at the highest speed possible. And that doesn't make any sense to me. And if you're telling consumers that you're going to get 1.5 acres out of this thing and you have to run it on the highest setting, I don't see you doing that, because when I put it on the highest setting, I could see the battery just draining. I'm like, holy moly. I mean, I gotta, and I don't got a huge lawn, right? I mean, you've seen it in my videos. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, if I was on the first setting, then I would have a lot of time. I could just breeze away and mow my grass, right? And not worry about using up all the battery. But on the setting I had to run that tractor to get a clean cut was on the highest setting, which just burned through the battery. Now, my acceleration speed, I'd done the first cut at the highest speed just to see how it went. Great. Granted, at the high speed, you're not going to cut all the grass. You're just going to get what I call the first shave. And I always like to do that. I've always done that. Is I do my entire yard at a high speed of rate with the deck at 3 inches. Then what I do is I drop the deck to 2 inches, and then I put it on a slower acceleration speed and kind of like, go slow and doing it. And it was at that slow in doing it is where I started to evaluate its performance and looking back to see that it was only folding the grass over. It wasn't cutting it, it was folding it. And then I was like, that don't make sense. I've done a first cut. This is really the second grooming cut, and I'm folding the grass. So, take this video for what it is. I don't think it's the tractor. I think it's the blades. So I'm hoping that Ego gets back to me today. If they don't get back to me today, I'm going to take up the kind offer to the managers, the local managers, and bring the blades in and see where we can get some resolution. Because I'd hate to return the product if it's what the product's supposed to do is mow my grass, right? And if it can't do that, then it's a bad product, right? It's not doing. It's like buying a snow shovel and you can't shovel snow with it. You know what I mean? Okay. Well, thank you for joining me. I appreciate you watching my videos. If you have comments you want to say or share with me, you can put them below. I appreciate the comments. As always, I don't monetize my channel, so you won't see commercials come up on my channel. I don't do my videos for clickbait. I've been accused of being a clickbaiter. It's like, well, if I was monetizing my channel, that would make a lot of sense. You know what I mean? So there's no advantage to me to just try to, hook people for clicks. I try to be honest in this. I didn't get any paid promotions for these videos. I bought the tractor just like everyone else. And I'm just trying to share with you folks my experience. And I'm not trying to crap on this tractor in any way. It's new technology. I'm going to work with Lowe's. I'm going to work with Ego to see if we can resolve this, in a professional manner. And in the end, if I have to return it, I'll just return it and get myself back into a John Deere. All right. Well, thank you for joining me. And this has been the Tarkus Zone.